on.
Hi, friends. Welcome to a very special, very last episode of Grave New World. It's a bittersweet night tonight, but we're going to have fun. We're going to wrap things up as best we can. We're going to see how our Scooby Gang lives out their lives after what went down. So let's start with the recap, as always. Um, The second battle of the Hellmouth commenced with Ye pitted against his enthralled father, Jack against an enthralled and activated Slayer Emily, and Ash 1v1ing the rogue Slayer Lydia. The action was intense, and mere moments went by as if they were in slow motion for the Scooby Gang. It all ended, however, as May, after turning Lydia into an inferno, threw herself and the rogue slayer into the Hellmouth and sacrificed herself using her magic essence to blow up and collapse the Hellmouth. Everyone else returned to Nana's, but when Nana heard what happened to May, she kicked everyone out, understandably. A quiet, very painful week passed until the gang felt like something was wrong and decided to check on Nana. They found the house unoccupied and seemingly unlived in for a good while, but Ash's Slayer sense told them that someone was there. And they looked around the house and found a sleeping May in her bed. And they were overjoyed until they realized what Nana had clearly done in order to bring May back. And we are going to pick up at Nana's memorial, which, being Jewish, they would have not a funeral but a shiva, which is like a week-long house visitation sort of thing. Um, I'm not fully qualified to explain it, but basically, everyone comes and they do, they bring food and
Food.
help the
You'll
family.
say
Yep,
food.
food,
Lots of food.
lots of food. Um, so it is Nana's Shiva. Robbie is there. Uh, Alice is also there, actually. Um, and Nana's whole, her mahjong group showed up, her poker group showed up. Everyone whoever knew Nana closely and is in the area is there. Nana was clearly very loved. So, what do you guys decide to do?
Absolute rager. Everybody's getting drunk.
There are so many cookies, it's not even funny.
Okay, cookies. I love it. You're not afraid of them anymore.
No, that's the whole point. Is that there's so many cookies to pay tribute to Nana cookies and
Good.
bagels.
Well,
And the
question:
bagels.
were
Yep.
any of Nana's spoons still in the kitchen?
Technically, yes.
Because those are the spoons that Ye would use to help make the cookies in
Yeah.
honor of Nana. One last go round of
This is like
magical
this
roulette.
is
Cookie
one
roulette.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is one big because Jack was going to say he was going to cook something in Nana's kitchen out of respect for Nana.
Okay.
But I guess we're all
let
rolling
me-
tonight, huh?
Yeah. Let me bring up that
I
table.
didn't bring any dice.
You got
Yeah,
roll
no,
20.
I don't think Ash have left the house since everything. Like Ash is just there all the time.
Everybody roll me a percentile twice. Or no,
Twice.
sorry, just once. Just once. I lied.
Oh,
just
you
once.
know what? No, we're gonna roll on my phone. Hold on.
Yeah, I gotta find my percentile. Damn.
I
they're
did
so
not
there.
bring
Hold
any dice.
91.
on. Okay.
91?
45.
40, okay.
You can also
Hey,
go on
Jack, you get more
Image.
butterflies and flower petals.
Okay.
That's so fucking funny.
It's a 93 for Ash.
93. Um, Ash, every time you move, like multiple U's kind of like follow you.
Oh, so it's like a
Um,
lag, like.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you get back, Kyle?
45.
45. Oh, wait, that's not the right one. So you bite into this cookie and there is something in it, and you look down and roll me a high or low. Tell me high or low.
It's yay.
You
High.
find a tooth.
You find a gold coin.
It's the gem of Amara.
This thing again.
After all this time.
Thought we destroyed this again.
So,
And May, what did you get?
I would just like to like lay this out before I say anything. May looks like shit. Like one of the things in the Shiva, you don't shower, and she wasn't going to anyways because that but bad feelings are had. But she's got super dark, like purple dark circles under her eyes. Her hair is just slapped back in a bun. She's wearing like a baggy shirt and sweats, like even though like everyone understands like of course she's like this. But like if Ash has stayed that whole week, like they know that she started having nightmares about dying and hell, and it hasn't been great, but she still like shuffles around and like says hello to everyone just with a very haunted look. But she like sees the cookies and knows that like you guys worked on them with love and just kind of like is nibbling on one, and I got a 72.
Got a 72.
speaking of cookies, I have peppermint sugar cookies.
They're all
I don't like
blurry.
They are blurry.
72. Um, oh, that's
Wasn't
not
that
the
the
right
She-Hulk
die.
out of your clothes one? Or was that a different one?
I have that's in my list. I don't know what's on Chris's.
I need.
I'm afraid.
Of course, it's all the way at the bottom.
My poor girl.
There we go. You turn a bright shade of purple.
Now she's a grandma grimace.
She just kind of like looks at her hands that's holding the cookie, and she's like, "Okay, cool."
Oompa loompa doompa dee May.
No one
Someone sleeping
at this
in the doghouse
at this
today.
Shiva is remotely like except maybe no, not even Alice. Like no one is remotely bothered. They're like, yeah, that tracks. May, there is a younger-ish woman, maybe in her like early 30s.
Chris, you can't do this to me while I'm purple.
She is basically, so she has this like kind of cropped brown hair, um dressed in kind of a vintage inspired look, but with like witchy tattoos kind of covering her body. And she walks over to May and she says, hey, little May, I see the cookies got you again.
Hi, Nadia.
It's okay, it'll wear off. You know that. I brought
Yeah.
borscht.
Is it as purple as me?
Not quite.
Great. Sorry, I've had a I've had a year.
I understand. Nana filled us in on what she could, but I like your new hair.
Magic accident, you know, just like always. Well, I guess not anymore.
I mean, that's how I got this tattoo. And she like points to a big it's actually like a scar that's been covered up by a tattoo. And she's like, definitely a tattoo.
I'm glad you and the rest of the, you know, the poker ladies were able to come and stuff. Uh, I saw that, Bison.
Of course. I mean, what how could we not? Your Nana was the life of the group and she brought so much joy and I'm really sorry about her loss and I'm my condolences absolutely to you and your family. Um I'm gonna I'm gonna go check on the food, make sure the only chaos element is the cookies because I feel like maybe we do want to monitor that. But don't worry about it, okay?
May's just gonna give her a hug like old times, like she's like a little kid again and just kind of like clutching onto her.
Oh yeah, Nadia absolutely just like big hug, um, and kind of like pets her head a little bit and stuff, gives her a little bit of a tousle, and then
Oh, it's so gross. Oh God, don't. That's so
she
greasy.
doesn't care.
I know, but I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, oh, it's so. Oh.
Still smells like
Um,
Hellmouth.
and then she'll say, "All right, go sit back down. You got a lot of people to get to talk through. Got a lot of people to talk to today, so
Yay.
But oh, sorry.
Oh, no, you know what? Yeah, yay.
Yeah, he'll wander over with his shiny new gold coin, put it in his pocket, and just kind of slide an arm around May's shoulders and just kind of be there.
yeah."
I imagine most
Nadia
of
heads over.
the food may have
Oh,
been brought
so,
by other people, but a lot of the setup and stuff would come from Ye's family's parents' catering business, as they
mhm.
have all of this, and it's the least they could do. So it's a real snazzy setup.
Yep,
Very respectful.
and Ye's parents are also there. I mean, to help run things smoothly, but also to pay condolences and respects and all that.
Yep. And scattered throughout would be drawings that Ye did of Nana and May and Nana and Ash and Nana and Jack and Nana and Ye and just a bunch of the people that she touched. Even the sun and the moon are in there on one picture, just in frames and said about the place because there's really not much else he can do. But you know,
That's beautiful. I
Jack's
almost called
just
you Alice. You're not Alice. You're May. Sorry. What about Jack?
I was gonna say Jack's just doing that like quiet guitar in the corner thing. So it's not just people talking.
That's helpful.
Ash is like making sure, I mean, they're the party person, right? They can talk to a brick wall and have it talk back. So if May can't get around to everybody, Ash is
Mhm.
making sure that they're the one to get around to everybody and make sure that everybody feels seen and heard and at the Shiva, and all that stuff. But also kind of playing like not guardian for May, but
Like a buffer.
like a buffer, right? Like if May seems like a
Mhm.
little overwhelmed, like like they're the buffer of like nope, I'll talk to you instead type of buffer, right? Like they're kind of doing that all around.
Mhm. Awesome. Uh, May, is you're kind of, I imagine you're dissociating a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, you look out, you have a good view from where you are of the crow balcony, and out on there's this big tree just beyond the fence um of Nana's property, the border fence. And for a second it looks like there's a young couple just like sitting in that tree talking. Um but you get distracted by somebody, probably Nadia, just checking in, and then you look back and there's just two crows in the tree.
She just rubs her eyes and is just like, okay, I'm hallucinating again.
Interesting thing though, we are going to take a little bit of an adventure out to those two crows in the tree. One of them is a lovely, sleek black crow, and the other one is kind of a rumpled, fat one. And they just kind of sidle up to each other, watching what's going on in the house. May is clearly visible through the window. Ye comes into view, and we hear the big fat crow speak. You know, I did a good job with him.
You did a good job with both of them.
Well, you did a good job with her too. I just did what I could.
But look how sad she looks now.
You did what you needed to do. And she will be strong. She will be okay. She's got a nice half demon and a slayer to help her.
Of course she'll be okay, Barnaby. She's my granddaughter.
I mean, let, like, you and I both know she's not just your granddaughter, but we'll let that slide.
Well, she was my granddaughter for, 22 years, so I'll count it as the best and the most. Or is there some sort of therapist speak for something else?
It was kind of hinting that you're not as young as you say you are, but
My
it was a
great,
bad
great,
joke.
great, great granddaughter, whatever.
Listen, I might I might retire from being a dream therapist. I think EA's got what he needs.
Does that mean we can finally take our vacation
That's exactly what it means.
together? She leans over and kind of like rubs their heads together.
He rubs his head back on hers and then like puts a wing over her and then the camera pans away and back into the Shiva. And then May, you just see the two crows kind of fly away with each other.
I gotta get more sleep.
You really do. And after everybody's gone, I say this with love. If I have to drag you bodily into the shower, clothes and all, you're showering tonight.
Okay, yes, because the Shiva's over. This is for the Shiva, of course. It's tradition.
And I respect it, which is why I haven't said anything the entire week. I just wanted, just to kind of put my 2 cents in. I know I've been slightly less around, but I've been doing my best to handle all the legal stuff for this, so you didn't have to.
You just want me in the shower, don't you?
Well, yeah. At what point did I ever indicate that I would want you not in the shower?
Speaking of legal stuff, I have a really big decision, but I think it's probably the best thing I've ever thought of.
Ash's ears kind of perk up across the room, but they stay where they are. They're just like,
The guitar playing just gets a little quieter.
yeah. Like
And
Ash kind of looks at Jack like,
and he's just like, yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to bring up the threesome, but I'm not saying I'm not.
I'm-
Oh, sorry.
That's
I
the part
joke in stressful situations.
that's the part that gets said just a little bit too loud, so everybody hears it.
Gay doesn't
Peter
care.
walks over and just like smacks Gay on the head.
Yeah, and he just accepts it.
And then she goes back to Brendan.
She sees that everyone's like watching and like turns around and pulls him in closer and it's just like, I want to give the house to Jack.
Yeah. I didn't figure you were gonna want to stay here, but you also weren't want to sell it off to a stranger. So the paperwork's ready for that.
I think Jack needs a place to settle down that's not under a bridge or in your spare room. And honestly, he's been taking care of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been taking care of it, but like he came by every day and fed the crows and it gave him something to do. And I mean, I don't think it'll fix all his problems, obviously, but it's something for him to come back to.
Yeah. All the magic books are gonna be out of here before we fully give it to him, right?
Yeah,
I'm
those
not gonna try to
are
bring my wife back from the dead, you guys.
Look,
As he
it's
sort of
not
like
even
circles
about
around.
that, Jack. I just don't trust you to not get bored one day and go, oh, I wonder what this spell does. It says Infernium. That's got to be fun. And then there's no more Nana House anymore. So we're just
Look, I
gonna
learned my
run.
lesson, okay? Learned my lesson. I've had a lot to think about it. A lot of time to think about it. And although I'll miss my bridge, I'll be sure to take care of Nana's house for you guys.
Thank you.
But
so he's just like,
Ollie
wanna
can
move
stay
in
out
with
front,
me?
right?
yes, all they can stay out front, or if he wants to be on the crow balcony to protect the crows.
I'll have to discuss that with him.
Also, I quit school.
Yeah. Yeah, I also kind of saw that coming. So do you want to crash with me? Do you want to crash with Ash? Should we all just get a place together at this point?
Just saying, there's plenty of rooms here still, you guys.
That's another thing that I was hoping to talk about after everyone left because I feel like it's going to be a big conversation.
Okay. We can put a pin in that one for now.
So the Shiva goes on. The day starts to fade. Um, People begin to, find their way out and go home and stuff. And Nadia has stuck around just to help put food in the fridge and package it up and stuff, and probably the freezer too, because it's a lot of food. Um,
At one point, like, May will sidle up to her once everyone else is kind of like idling around doing other stuff. And she's
Mhm.
just kind of like, okay, I would ask if this is a favor, but I did cook for you guys for the past like 3 years, and you seem to enjoy it because Nana always brought back empty plates. So I'm hoping that just at least curries the favor.
yeah.
I need help with something really big.
How big?
6'2", 6'3".
I'm gonna punch you through the screen.
I mean, I literally went.
um, godlike.
Okay. Um, she'll like step into the next room with you where like people were just conversing and stuff, but they've cleared out because it's the end of the night, um and there's really no one left in that room anymore. And she says, I mean, I'm still new to the title, right? I only just got all of this power, but I'll help you whatever you need.
I mean, like, unfortunately, I'm out of juice, so it'll probably take me a bit too if you still need some tutoring lessons and stuff. But it's something that I think needs to be done, and honestly, I, I don't even know if it'll work, if things will go wrong, but I feel like you're one of the only ones I can trust with this.
Okay. Um, just let me know what it is and I'll see what I can do.
Bait tells her what it is. I want to keep it secret from these fuckers.
No, yeah, I was gonna say we're probably gonna pan away from that
Uh-huh.
scene too.
It's just like them talking. May tells her what it is. Nadia.
Yeah,
the way.
basically. Um So the Shiva ends and it's just the Scoobs left. Nadia has gone home as well after helping put all the food away and everything. Um Kendra and Brendan have, broken down all of their tables and put away, the tablecloths and organized all of the art, set it to one side gently, and they're packing up the car to go home as well. They say goodbye to you. Yay. They kind of assume that you're probably going to stay with May. Um, and they say goodbye to Ash. They say goodbye to Jack. They say goodbye to May, and they head out. And you guys are just left with this very quiet evening.
When May and Ye go to shower, Ash makes sure that they take the ribbon off of whatever May was wearing previously and like like the black ribbon. Sorry, I'm very equipped to talk about Shiva. Like the ribbon that May gets and like puts it on the dresser so that May has it ready and available for whatever she puts on next. And like Ash like lets May and Ye have that moment in the shower, and she's like it's like making sure that the ribbon, like helping clean up too, like like all that stuff, but
Mhm.
making sure that ribbon is nice and safe.
So apparently later and freshly showered.
There's no funny business. This is a Shiva.
Yeah. And he
Yeah.
understands that. He is just
Listen, Ash has already had
Helping.
their clinical shower with Ye. It's May's turn.
Yep.
Yep. This is very much like the May May is like just fully disassociating and just like letting like Ye wash her hair for her and stuff. It was just kind of like lifting each of the like body parts up, like
Yep.
thank you, thank you.
Like
Yep.
turning around under the shower head. Yep.
And that was most of it. I mean, of course, Ye would never say no to seeing me in the shower, but it's mostly just knowing she's just not going to have the spoons or executive function to really handle something, but would probably enjoy being clean.
Yeah. And like there's pajamas ready and waiting.
Yep.
When May gets out like that. The other half of that spoon distribution.
And,
Yeah, at some point May like grabs the both of you and just kind of like cuddles in between you two.
Yep. Totally a big cuddle puddle, and Ye like a slut is wearing gray sweatpants and the white t-shirt.
Ash is also wearing gray sweatpants.
Yeah.
We're all wearing gray sweats. Jack is there wearing gray sweats.
Yep. And if he's not, he's shamed until he does.
Yeah. Ash is like
Outside
Peer
there.
pressure.
Go put them on. I know we're the same size. Go put them on.
Yep.
Is there anything you decide to talk about tonight, or are you waiting to bring things up another day?
And Ye is obviously ready to talk about things if everybody else is ready, but he's not gonna like press.
Yeah, I think May is ready. Like she's been she's ready to implode. She's been keeping this in while she's been thinking about things this week, and
I mean, we all know Ash, you have to like pry their teeth out of their mouth to talk about things, so
but May will bring them all into the living room and kind of all pull everyone onto the couch, Jack included, just like everyone just kind of shoveled on to there.
Ash is like over Jack's lap, head like torso over Ye, head in May's lap, just like across the three of them.
Yeah.
This is my new couch.
That was a great frame.
My connection is fantastic, guy.
We got a serious talk.
Serious time. He's like, so you wanted to talk about some things tonight?
Yeah, so like I said, today I did go ahead and drop out. There's just a lot of things that I can be doing that aren't wasting my life away in a school. Which I love school, but I just don't see the use of trying anymore. I feel like I should be using what I learned and putting it into action. And so the reason I gave Jack the house is because I won't be here.
What?
There will I.
What?
Yeah, he's just kind of watching. Assuming elaboration will be forthcoming, and if not, tickles will be forthcoming until elaboration is.
I was talking with Julian and Jillian and Ash and everything that happened with Emily. There's so many things wrong with the Watchers and how it's run and how things could go down the way they did, and the only help we could get was from an exile, and I can't stand by and keep watching this stupidity, this injustice. So I was kind of hoping, well, I guess not hoping anymore because I already talked to Ash about it, but we're gonna go crush
Take down
the Watchers.
patriarchy. And they say it at the same time. Take down the patriarchy. And Ash kind of interjects, and Ash says, "May's going first. I'm gonna graduate because I think my dad would murder me if I didn't.
Yeah.
And then I'm following."
Well,
I'm like,
if there's room for a blue half demon, I definitely think this is a worthwhile new venture goal.
May kind of like grabs his hands and is just like, I know you want to finish school and go into your field and keep going. And this isn't like me ending things. Obviously, like I know people that can teleport me back here, like me and Ash. We can come back anytime. And honestly, I want somewhere to come back to.
Well, first of all, how dare you saddle me with a house and then say I'm going to fuck off and take over the Watchers? I'm a little hurt by that, but
You're hurt that I gave you a house?
I'm hurt that you're going to make a sequel movie without me.
Hey Jack, you know I love you. I love you a lot. I also dislike you a lot because there are certain things that you need to take care of first if you want to come blow up some things.
I know. But I just had to say it. I wouldn't want to go to England without making sure this place was at least worth it.
And honestly, like, yeah, you can have so much fun helping us beat up some British douchebags, but I think I mean, like, I don't want to say like you've had enough of that. Like, you were still very spry and agile and tough. But
Jack's
I
only
think you
in his
deserve
30s.
a break. I know. That's what
It's like you've got more white in your hair than I do.
I went to hell and back. What I'm saying is, I think you need a break.
Well, here's the thing from my end. I'm not gonna say hurt is the right word, but I slightly hurt that you discussed the whole thing with Ash, and I'm just finding out about it now.
We actually
But
had the idea separately, and it was Julian who kind of told us that we both had the same idea.
All right.
well, then I owe Julian a wedgie.
I'll hold him
But
down for you.
before I
laugh.
pull his starchy, tidy whities right up his crack until he can taste them, I'm just gonna say that the whole physical therapy thing was never a dream. It was something I picked because you're supposed to go to school. And I was trying to have as normal a life as possible given that I was kind of thrust into that whole solo protector thing by the powers that be. Um, I honestly, I know you're capable, and I know you're dangerous even without the whole wellspring of magic thing going on, but unless you do not want me to go, and that is valid, and you can say so without fear, I would much rather be there with you until at least until Ash can join us. My parents will understand. They're not exactly a conventional couple or conventional parents.
I mean, I'll never say no to you coming along. Ha ha. Get it? No, okay.
Ash's elbow is right in May's gut, perfect position, and just
It's like, of course, Ye then tickles Ash a little bit because he's like, that was a good attempt. It was kind of a lame joke, but I appreciated it. And he's like,
Also, Slayer.
Yep. Also, Slayer versus Mortal. Um,
it wasn't hard. It was like a nose flick of an elbow.
Yes, with Slayer's strength and your
Yeah.
very weak girlfriend who has no magic.
Yep. So he's gonna be like, I think the visions, because I don't feel like they're gonna stop, could be useful, and you could use some muscle, and I would just feel better being there to shield you when necessary, and maybe Julian, maybe. Mostly the little Slayerette though.
Yeah, watch out, her left hook.
Yeah, I know it was funny, but it was obvious. Like you versus my dad would have been very ugly.
I can't believe I got my butt kicked by an 11-year-old.
You guys would also know that Julian and Jillian are choosing to stay in the States and train Emily on their own.
Ye will have suggested to Julian that Eugenie is still probably around somewhere, and that she might be happy to maybe put down some roots in the area to help train Ash, because Ash still needs training, and the next generation next generation of Slayer.
He nods and agrees, and he begins to put his feelers out to find Eugenie and stuff.
So, when do we leave?
Well, I already have my bags packed.
All right, well, I don't need that long to pack everything. Just need some clothes, documents, art supplies, my guitar.
I'll see what's in the freezer that you guys can take on the flight, because I'm not going to be able to eat all that by myself.
You'll have Ash for a little bit.
Yeah.
I am absolutely making you guys sandwiches. Give me a minute. Did you...
Ash eats just as much as Ye does, just to upkeep that.
The Slayer caloric needs.
Yeah.
But like May watches Jack go into the kitchen, just kind of like puttering around, and she just kind of like cries silently. It's just like, yeah, he's gonna fit in here just fine.
I should stress that most of the time you're watching Jack basically do various versions of, okay, where the hell is this? Because he doesn't know the kitchen yet.
Yet.
What do you think Nana did? Nana didn't know either.
Yep. This Josh said sugar, but I think that's paprika.
Why is it white?
Everything's been color bleached. That's what I was gonna say. The spoons have just color bleached everything. That's the curse of the kitchen. That's why the cookies are so messed up.
Yeah.
Just everything is color bleached.
So you guys, you gather what you need, whether you already have it or whether you have to go get it from Ye's place or whatever. unless there's anything else that you want to play out, um, here's how we're gonna do this. So speak now or forever hold your peace.
Speak now or forever hold my peace. Ash will absolutely make sure that they and Jack drive May and Ye to the airport.
Okay.
And like a farewell. And like they say goodbye to May, give them kisses, and then when it's time to say goodbye to Ye, they'll tiptoes, arms, and for the first time, very tentatively, give Ye like a kiss, like right here, like
May's over
not
here
one,
like,
just like
"Oh."
just like, and like like hug Ye and be like, take care of our girl, okay?
Of course. I'll
May
keep her
fist
warm
bumps
for you.
Jack.
Yep. Yale definitely give Jack the Warriors forearm clasp
Yeah.
and then a hug.
The big bro hug.
Yep. Jack or Ye will make it a point that they stop off to say goodbye to his parents, because leaving without saying goodbye to his parents means that they would both wake up cursed. Not like a bad curse, but a curse
Like a Nana curse,
from a
which is
very
almost worse.
angry and disappointed mom.
And you're just sending it out into the universe.
Kendra's like all over you, like hugging you and giving you like kisses and like making sure that you have like she's like, do you need to be fed? Do you need like snacks for the airport and the
We got it all
airplane? Do you
covered.
need weapons? Like what do you need?
Mom,
Do
we
you need
cannot take
charms?
weapons. Maybe
Um,
some charms, but no, we've been
Brendan
fed.
just yeah. Brendan just gives you a big hug and says you'll do great.
Yeah, I had some great role models. And sorry about the yam bag.
It's been a week, it's fine.
Yeah, I know, but
They
all right.
regenerate.
They do, but
Brendan may have spoken falsetto for a day or two first.
yeah.
Go dismantle the patriarchy. Get
Absolutely.
so between the three of you, like you guys are a powerhouse, and the Watchers, they talk a big talk, but a lot of them don't have shit. So I want Ye to make me a strength doubled.
You have a character sheet.
Uh,
What? Yeah, I was like, I don't even have my sheet open. Hold on.
I have my shit memorized. What do you do?
Well, I don't want to have to pick out and roll 14 d10s
Literally.
from my glass of die. So
I just typed in D&D dice roll on my computer.
I don't even know what my stats are.
look, I know my
I
strength
can
is
pull
7.
them up
So
if you want.
Okay, yeah, please, because my login is not working.
Okay.
Oh wait,
Ash?
this might work. Hold on. It might have worked. It might have worked. It worked. Okay, never mind. I got it.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Ash, I need you to make a dex doubled for me.
20.
And May, I want you to make a willpower doubled for me.
It's just I click the dexterity button, right? That's all I do.
Yeah, you just click
Yeah,
the dex
clicking
button.
that gives a stat.
You would think after 2 years I would know how to do this.
Team 20.
That is 20. Oh wait, no. Oh my God.
What'd you get, May?
The highest May can roll right now is what? It's 18.
18. So that's not bad either. You guys crush the Watchers into oblivion. You guys decimate them and dismantle them beyond a skeleton. between Ye taking on whoever decides to fight them, Ash, fighting, but also using their Slayer knowledge to sneak around, May using her influence as her knowledge of magic, and I think also sort of probably bluffing a little bit with like threats of magic and things like that. Like,
And also just being like, I already dealt with 2 Hellmouths. Do you think your little bitch asses are that much to deal with? I died and came back. Do you think you'd get the same?
exactly. So you guys do a phenomenal job. And also with those roles, you guys, whatever you decide to do post dismantling, whether you decide to like leave it or set up a new structure, you ultimately succeed at that as well because you have essentially maxed out. Like, these roles are insane.
Yeah. Oh, I think Ye would be in favor of building something new, either a Slayer school, Slayer Academy, or just, a new group like the Watchers, but less. I'm just gonna sit back in my cozy little friggin' library and send a Slayer out to risk their life. Like a new Watcher system that's set on building up a team of support.
It's a
So
symbiotic relationship,
Yep.
and
funny enough,
May gets with her magic people, and Ash has their slayers.
yeah. So Ash will have kind of talked to May and Ye about this and sent Jack some texts to kind of gather what resources he can over in the States to set up a new Slayers Council. Not really council, but it's a Watchers Council made up of
Collective.
Slayers. Yeah, yeah, like Slayers Elective, because there's so many potentials and so many Slayers in the world, and who else better to help new potentials than Slayers who have already been there? Um, and so Ash will have been like texting Jack and like FaceTiming Jack and calling Jack and stuff to be like, hey, can you get Julian to set up like a FaceTime call so that we can set Emily up with her new, contact and all that stuff. And then there's like on the time that the call comes in, there's a
Yeah.
like ring ring to call Julian.
Yeah, Ye as part of this too would try and work with his parents and the few other demons he knew who were more positively inclined to set up not necessarily a demon watch, but a more let's police ourselves so the Slayers don't have to sort of thing adjacent to the Slayer Council, because there are a lot of demons who really just want to live in peace. They're not gonna out there to eat the livers of virgins or whatever. They might want to be near a hospital to feed on fear, but they're not bad people. They're just people who want to live their lives and also happen to live on goat brains or whatever. um and so more positivity, more you know working with the Slayer Council to identify and rapidly uh step in on bad situations.
Julian highly recommends the Watchers whose Slayers were victims of the Rogue Slayer and whose um, they were the ones who worked with him to try and figure out what was going on and everything. Um, so the ones that he talks to and who agree to join this endeavor, they they come in from around the globe, and essentially become the faculty of this collective. Um,
How about we change their
the
name from Watchers to Archivists?
yeah,
I
sure.
mean, Ash was
Um,
gonna get rid of the term watcher anyways.
yeah. Um, so they alongside other like quote unquote retired slayers, like people, the ones who are like Eugenia's age, the ones who were the original potentials who got activated, the ones that actually survived, stuff like that, like very very experienced slayers. um they also come in and they form the rest of this collective. So you have gathered a very experienced, knowledgeable, helpful group of people who can actually prepare these potentials and these um, newly created, activated, newly discovered slayers, um, newly realized slayers in ways that are productive and give them more resources and information than in previous days under the Watchers Council.
Speaking of information, May has gotten so close to Alice, like it's wild. They have talked a lot, and May is just like, "All right, Alice, like you are literally like a tech whiz, and all of this shit they've been hoarding, we're digitizing, and it's gonna be on a magically like protected database that we can actually use and that can be ethically sourced out to people who need it and not all hoarded away."
Ethically sourced deep lore.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to be very careful on that digitization thing. We don't want anything escaping a book.
Well, that's why I brought in Alice, because she's literally like
Mm-hmm.
Alice is like, oh, don't worry. There will be no escaping. She fully agrees, especially after like seeing what went down with the Watchers Council and everything. Like, I'm sure she's been privy because of her job to everything that happened, especially afterwards and like as things came to light and all that jazz. And like
The
as the
debrief
reports
between
came in.
I was gonna say the debrief between her and Jack post because he called in, potential backup, would have been a whole lot of, yeah, your daughter is far more of a badass than you ever gave her credit. You walked away from your family, but holy shit. And just basically, it would have been 2 hours of what she expected to be browbeating a civilian, and he's just making fun of her for 2 hours about how she missed out on the best years of her life.
So, May, as you get closer with Alice and everything, you learn some things that Nana didn't tell you. You learn that you aren't technically her child. Um,
yeah, I got that when they told me that I was a ball of pure magic. Like, you are very
Yeah.
magically inclined. Dad is not. And but you know what? You know what? Like, I look very much like my dad, but they obviously took some things from you and when they were making me.
She tells you the story of how Robbie went on a business trip and he came back, and then thanks to the powers that be being dicks, approximately 9 months later, a child showed up. who looked shockingly like Robbie. And Robbie insisted on keeping you, and Alice went along with it until you, being this wellspring of magic, essentially made it too hard for her to be okay with all of these mayhaps. And when they barely avoided being blown up by the Hellmouth, she got incredibly scared and bailed. But she never actually stopped loving your dad or even you. And she tells you how she was there for your 18th birthday, but you just never knew because Nana protected you. Um, that was the day that she finally handed over the divorce papers. It took that long, but she recognized that, you know, she had made her choice and she regretted it, but there wasn't anything she could do. And she genuinely appreciates that you have been able to let her back into your life.
Oh yeah, like they honestly, that's a big cry sesh. Like I imagine they're like video calling, and like that's just a big cry sesh. And after they're done, like she has to go cuddle Ash and Yay. It's just like I think I've done good.
Definitely done good. We've all done good. I do have a question, though, director.
Mhm.
Did Ash ever end up with a little half angel younger sibling or 12?
Or 12.
No.
Absolutely not.
It was
They
worth asking.
adopted.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
There's
sure
another May.
there's a wedding at some point that Ash went to.
I think eventually in the future there is potentially a wedding. Um Allison doesn't like rush him or anything. Allison just enjoys his company and is genuinely there to be with him. Um and you kind of get the feeling, Ash, that Allison was not like Allison didn't expect Kieran to fall as hard as he did for her. And so she was not planning on becoming as emotionally invested as she has become. And it's like a real actual deep connection. And
Gotta
they're
love
like
those.
genuinely happy.
It started as a job.
She
Jack
fell for the mark. She fell
Yep.
for the rule number one.
You never
Rule number
get too
one.
close. The whole 9 yards taught me that.
Yeah.
You never
Jack
Never get
gets
too
them
close
the
to your
box
target.
set of Touched by an Angel as a wedding gift.
Um Sorry, to consult my notes because my brain went blank. Oh yeah, so while the three of you guys are abroad, Jack, what have you been doing?
I think Jack spends the first 3 full days doing that meme from Narcos, where he's just kind of like, now what? Um, and then he's out getting bagels for the crows one day, and he finds a flyer for a support group, and he's like, okay, whatever. It floats around the house for a day or two until finally one day he does actually call it. and it's not what he expected. He goes to the address listed on the thing. You know, it's a community center. It makes sense. But when he gets there, all he hears is the roar of motorcycles. It's a sober riders motorcycle club. Bunch of older guys, 40s, 50s, 60s, some women, you know, just people who don't want to, don't feel like AA is for them, but they understand that a person cannot achieve sobriety alone. So he joins up, while helping Kieran get the business back together. He saves up his money and buys an old Indian motorcycle. Trades in the Enduro that he's been driving for all this time. As the FaceTimes between Jack and Ash go on and on, she notices that Jack is starting to sport a full beard. It takes a while. I mean, that peach fuzz lasted like 6 months. But also through those FaceTimes, you notice that that weariness in his eyes starts to fade. He's not just living, he's actually enjoying life. And by the time they get back from England, Jack almost didn't make it to the airport because he was on a date. Her name is Katie. She's in the support group, and she drives a Harley.
Biker chick.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's and yeah, once he actually once they all meet up at the airport and they come back, the first thing he does after, you know, prying himself out of the four-way hug was show them his 1-year coin. He's like, I did it.
I know you had it in you, buddy.
I couldn't have done it without you guys. So this is Katie.
Unless Chris, do I do it? This is
That's. I will go with whatever you decide.
May like looks at Jack and then looks at Katie and then looks at Jack and looks at Katie and her face is just falling more and more and she's just like, oh no. That's gonna make this awkward.
Wait.
As coming out of the terminal. Is Diane.
What the fuck?
Now would be a good time to talk to you both about the benefits of polyamory.
I called in a favor with the Baba Yaga.
Jack is just absolutely floored.
You see Diane walking over to you guys. She doesn't need to go, oh, who's that? Even through the beard, she knows it's you. And she sees Katie. And she looks a little crestfallen, but also kind of happy for you. But she smiles at you and says, "Hi, Jackie."
Hey, I don't I don't. I. Hi.
New friend? New friends?
Yeah. You've met May and Ash and Yay.
Katie
Yeah, she's
leans
been
over and
chilling
is
with
like,
us a couple weeks. We've had to reacclimate her.
Katie leans over and is like, I get it.
I absolutely enjoyed our time together. I mean that. I won't forget Grand Canyon. I won't forget fucking that time we spent in New Mexico. And oh Jesus.
You don't have to break up with her. Just
I,
No, the memory does exist.
do you
Like the
guys
three
want
of
to
them
go
are
for
like,
Do you guys want to go for coffee?
there you go, bud.
he's
Katie goes, sure. And Diane goes, I'd love to.
okay. First we're gonna have to get these guys home, but there should be enough room in the van still.
May's just bright red. She's like, oh my god.
Ash is already like texting their dad on the side, like, just come get us
You
at the
think
airport.
you think May is blushing? Jack is absolutely like it's gone past red and into purple.
Yeah. And he's
May
like,
just
buddy, come, simmer, you're gonna rupture something. You don't heal like I do, Jack. Breathe.
In,
Deep breath
out,
in and out.
in, out.
Out.
you had a wish left. Sorry.
He
it's
plants
taken
one
me
on
so
May's
long.
cheek,
Aw.
just and then whispers like, "I don't know how I can ever repay you for this. I really don't."
There may
I
be
also
some.
got pink paint mailed to the house.
Wait, what?
I got some pink paint shipped to the house.
Took me a sec.
Yep.
All right, everybody, get in the van.
It'll only be a quarter blue.
Oh yeah, May is like completely chopped off her hair, like it's very short, but she's finally got like a little bit of like that blue magic zest back in her eyes because she's finally been like I imagine this has been a couple years, like they've been
It's been a
Yeah,
while.
Crushing the Watchers would not have been
Yeah.
a 6-month ordeal.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's a slow and steady wins the race sort of thing.
But like I imagine like she's gotten some tattoos too now, kind of like Nadia has, but like some of them are actually like charmed. But then on both of her wrists she has little like half infinity loops, and it's so when she holds Ash and Ye's hand, they're pointed towards them.
Aw.
Ye would have gotten the
Love
same
it.
thing, but his regeneration means tattoos don't stick around long. Unless they really like did some hardcore magic, then he'd have his part of it.
He has
How
a
do you
thick
think
book
Nadia,
of press
the Baba
on
Yaga,
tattoos.
keeps hers?
That's fair.
How do you think the Baba Yaga keeps hers? Huh?
That's fair, yeah. He is also going to be like, Jack, you may notice a few little oddities with Diane. We had to make a body for her to inhabit. It wasn't like a Frankenstein thing, so don't worry about that.
All right, I'm not gonna like find an extra hand, unless small of her back or anything, right?
If you do, it wasn't our doing.
Okay.
We very carefully sculpted her everywhere.
Yep.
Ash and I took very gentle care of that.
It was not easy getting enough wood from Yggdrasil, but
It took a long time.
This is the weirdest my life has been in like 3 years. Fuck, I missed you guys.
Yeah, we missed you too, buddy.
Just big Scoob hug.
Yeah.
Big scoop hug, yeah.
Then the dragon comes over the horizon and fade to black.
Well, there might be one more thing. May, do you want to hold on, let me just message you.
Excuse you?
I don't know. Is someone gonna ask?
Of course. Ye would have asked them both. Special rings, the whole thing, but not like a big dramatic scene in front of other people, because that always seemed very cringe to him. Just a really nice moment in a really scenic spot.
I was gonna say them in their California King, sweaty and bear, and he's just like,
By the way, you
"So
want
want
to
to
get
make
married?
it official?"
Listen, my dad asked my mom to marry him when my mom was half asleep on the couch, and she said yes, and she has no recollection of it. So he proceeded to ask her every day for a month after that. So I feel like it's something along those lines.
Yeah. Ye probably would have kind of felt it out first and got the I don't, and then like made sure he had the rings and like had the whole little group scene, a really nice picnic at the top of a waterfall kind of thing, because he might be a big smashy machine, but he's a bit of a romantic. So yeah, definitely their marriage might not be recognized in the States, but they did get married.
It's recognized by the witches.
Right.
Recognized by the Slayers. What do we decide to call it? Slayers, not council.
Collective.
Yep.
There we go.
Association. I think Nadia presides over the ceremony. And would it be okay to say that she kind of magically bonds the three of you? Not like in an unbreakable way, but in like a very special way.
Yeah, we'd be fine with that.
Drops of blood.
It's just in a very like symbolic way, I guess. Anyone have anything else?
No, I think we got the kid, got married, got the special bonding by the mother of all people. So that's definitely a thing, because Ye's cottoned onto that part of it. Although he's wondering who the crone is and when they're going to meet her. That aside, got the council thing set up, brought Diane back. Haven't had to fight the Krampus again, which is a positive.
He learned his lesson the first time.
Damn right he did.
I can still taste that bat on my lips.
Stuffed him in his own sack and beat him with his own switch. No, I can't really think of anything else. It seems like a pretty perfect little...
Hey, Chris, do you remember the thing we talked about a really long time ago about Ye?
I do.
Can that be May's like wedding gift to him?
Yeah. Do you want to describe it?
So May, obviously, like before we all get married and have our souls entwined together, is just thinking, Ye has some hitchhikers that May isn't quite happy with, and doesn't want them sticking around for the rest of their lives. And so she works with the other witches and works with her mom, because she's been calling her mom. And they create a device that is able to take Ye's visions and port them into like a video so anyone could see them and do with what they need to be done, whoever needs to be saved, whatever needs to be stopped, but is able to take away Ye's pain. And she kind of like explains that to him, like like I guess maybe probably the night before, like I haven't slept that much.
He's just like scoops her up and carefully, make sure not to, fracture anything just before the wedding, but massive hug and probably some tears. Because he was expecting to still have to deal with feeling all those other sensations and emotions besides the empathy that he has, but for the rest of his life. So there's definitely a massive hug and tears of relief, and then throwing her over his shoulder and heading off to the bedroom, and just a whole thing.
On that note,
Like a wow.
In with a bang.
Out with a bang.
Bang bang bang.
anything else? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Nothing? Okay. So with that, on the wedding day, where do you imagine you have the wedding?
Nana's house.
I was like Nana's backyard?
Yeah.
Like, is there any other question? Or I guess
that's
Jack's
perfect.
backyard now.
Yeah.
Jack's backyard.
Yeah.
I think the house is pink now.
In the process. The parts
in the process, okay.
the parts that people can see are pink, but about halfway down the back side it still hasn't been finished.
Okay. So the front of the house
It's been
is
like
pink
3
now, but
years,
it's still...
Jack. Since I gave you that
Oh.
paint, is it still good?
He's doing it all himself. Gotta give him time.
He's been doing it himself, and he's been on the road a lot.
Use the crows, they'll help.
Just little pink footprints all across the
You're
house.
now.
So you guys have this little setup in the backyard, and May. So I think it would be really cute if the ring bearers were crows.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then off in that tree again, you see that young couple again, just for a split second. And then they're crows again. A beautiful, sleek black one, and a kind of rumpled, chubby one. And when the three of you finally kiss and everything, they caw loudly before flying away together. And the camera zooms out on this beautiful little tableau of everyone that you love joined to celebrate the fact that you are living your best lives now. And then we fade to black and drop the curtain.
Sad face.
And they lived.
And they lived.
And they lived.
Oh.
So, on that note, it is
bittersweet.
the end. Yes, it is bittersweet. We have come to the end of an almost 2-year-long campaign, which I think might be one of the longest running campaigns on Dirty 20. But
you
regardless,
guys, or
It's
us
up there.
and Carnagites are the two longest currently.
wow. Okay. just try and outdo me. No, I'm kidding.
Hey,
Um,
at the snail like pace that I get through plot because of all the crazy things my players throw at me, I think I might end up with the title, and that's not on purpose.
yeah. But I just want to say a really deep, sincere thank you to all of you guys and to everyone who has ever played in this game and has helped make this game a reality, which includes the people who watch, which includes the people who chat. It includes everyone that has ever been involved or touched the story of this game. And it means so, so much that you guys cared so much about this thing that I kind of jumped into excitedly, but not like fully ready for. And it became like the biggest project I think I've ever taken on in my gaming history. And it just like the friendships and bonds that we've formed through playing this game, it's this has been one of the best things in my life for the last almost 2 years, and I'm so grateful that all of you were part of it. So for the last time live, but not the last time ever, that's for sure. Thank you, Bison. Thank you, Bad Kyle. Thank you, Mana Queen. Thank you, Luna. Thank you, Blaze of Gloriosa. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, producer Kevin. Thank you, everyone in chat. Thank you, everyone who has ever been in chat, except you. Looking at you. No, I'm kidding. Um,
Specifically
And thank
you.
you, Director Chris,
Thank you, Chris,
Thank you so
putting
much.
your
for
heart and
creating
soul
this
into
world.
this. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
it's my baby.
it's been a blast.
It's my heart's joy. Um,
I give it a week before you
Thank
start writing
you.
another campaign.
Yep.
yeah. I'm gonna give myself about a month, and then I have to start working on my home game because my
Yeah.
players have been waiting.
Um,
But thank you everyone who watches the VODs and everyone who, watches on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, give the video a like. If you have thoughts, give it a comment. Subscribe to Dirty 20 Gaming. There's always more coming. And with that, if you have the energy, please be kind to each other. But if you don't, at the very least, please be nice. So for the last time from Grave New World, have a great night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Spooka.
Skooka, skooka, skooka.